Chris Warner asks, question for Dave, probably something he's talked about many times, but I'm not aware of any recent update to his thoughts on how superheroes and the comics medium became so connected to each other. Comics existed before, but Superman was a gigantic, unforeseeable success. Marvel somehow found a devoted audience that just had to follow every issue of every title for the next few decades. The other genres in this medium just grew smaller and smaller. Over the years, I'm sure a lot of readers have just really liked Mucus Man, and the comics were the only way to get a monthly fix. But I can attest that other readers, such as myself, found that any interest we had in the characters came from the comics and didn't extend far beyond them. To this day, I can still look at Claremont's X-Men in a, quote, comfort food, unquote, sort of way. But you can count on one hand the number of X movies I've seen and don't even need all five fingers. But I am fascinated at how mega corporations are trying and failing to use their intellectual properties the way they did in comics. Healthy or not, the men in tights genre match the medium and vice versa. Any thoughts? Well, first of all, I want to, it's always nice to welcome Chris Warner back, the writer who has more individual works represented in the Cerebus archive than any other. And I would say that it traces to the concept of the demigod. Hercules is halfway between Zeus and man. Alexander the Great is halfway between Hercules and man. The less than God, greater than man demigod thus shades into the Superman. Demigod just below God, Superman just above man. The less evolution is treated as a theory, the more it becomes perceived as a fact. As man evolved from ape, man will inevitably become Superman. It works in comics because overview is implied. You, as a three-dimensional being, perceive two-dimensional man and two-dimensional Superman simultaneously. The Superman exists halfway between your three-dimensional self and his two-dimensional depiction, composed of static words and static images, which your brain, mind, and soul translate from their simplified, fixed existence in space-time. The images are always the same images. The words are always the same words, into a simplified omniscience as lived experience. The past, the panel you just read, the present, the panel you're reading now, and the future, the panel you're about to read, experienced by you simultaneously. They're always on the comic book page, right in front of you, in exactly that form, which is the actual objective as opposed to subjective nature of reality. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously in the fourth dimension. The simplified omniscience lived experience. Superman always uses his powers for good. He overcomes obstacles. His outcomes are always for the greater good of all. Doing good and defeating evil are always the point. For the personality type that's engaged by this, the Superman's genesis provides affirmation. 19 is halfway to 38. June 1938 is halfway through 1938. Halfway, halfway, halfway. And consequently, the Superman's genesis becomes inseparable from your simplified omniscience lived experience of him. the fact of doing good as his sole motivation, and consequently of your own aspiration to it. He gets depicted in many ways and has a multiplicity of names, but he is always the Superman. Everything else in our lived comic book experience, reality, is just everything else. Interesting, but having lesser popularity, being less factual, and no competition for the Superman.